but we're back. We're ready to party. How about you guys?
Holy cow, I tell you what, man. It's a long time coming right now.
It is. You know what? So we are back, season number 2, episode number 6. Can't believe that. Thank you for joining us this lovely July evening.
July,
It's almost over, man.
Thursday evening, yeah. July's just about over.
You betcha.
Holy cow.
So, how you been, my friend? What's going on?
You know what? Hey, it's been, like we said, it's been a little bit. And, I'm doing good. Right, I'm doing good, man.
I'm surprised I can hear you, because I can't see you.
Hey, you know, we got to practice our social distancing here, and we've heard recently that you must wear goggles or some type of eye covering, and so I went with the face shield.
There you go.
Why not?
Right on. Good for you.
Why not? I ain't wearing it the whole damn show, I'll tell you that. Shit, I can't drink.
You know, you might have to do something about that.
You know, yeah. So, you know what, we gotta get rid of that thing. We got the face mask on for because we're doing, you know, it's the first show. We're gonna do some NFC and AFC North. Figured I'd do a little Chicago.
Hey, easy.
A little Chicago flag going here.
Wow.
To yeah, hey, you know.
Right on. You know, that's enough of that crap. You know, I think that a lot of people are saying, fuck that mask.
I'm sorry.
I know I am. I'm definitely at that stage.
Guess what?
What?
That mask is
Yeah.
just as useless as our governor. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it. That's
You're
what I'm
not a
gonna
fan
say.
of Freddie Flintstone?
No, I'm not a fan of dipshit school, no.
Dipshit school,
I'm
that's
sorry.
one
I'm
too.
just not. I'm not.
Yeah, neither am I. Hey, Christine, thanks. Nice to see you again. How are you doing? How you doing?
Oh, we got people. Christine Sturm. Mama Sturm, what's going on?
What's happening?
Oh, fellow Buffalo Bills fan right there.
You betcha.
God, I'm loving it. Hope you guys like our setup today. The Stampede is it's over there. It's in the background a little bit for you guys.
here-ish.
You know, it's kind of there doing its thing.
Right.
It's doing its thing. How
So,
about you, man? That's enough about Buffalo J.
Yeah.
What about the B-Ride?
You know, I'm doing good here. We are kicking off our welcome back tour with a review of every team, and we're going to take it direction by direction. Never eat soggy weenies. So we're hitting the North, NFC North and AFC North today, and then we'll hit the South for AFC and AFC next week.
No, the East.
Yeah,
Never
damn it.
eat
Yeah,
soggy
you're right.
weenies.
I keep going north-south.
Right?
You know, as far as I've only had half a beer. All right, so north, east, south, and west.
There you go,
And
buddy.
tackle both the AFC and NFC each time. Jay, you are digging Stephon Diggs moving over to Buffalo, huh? That's your shit today?
We're wearing, you dig. It's fitting. We're going to be talking about the NFC North today. So let's talk about how Stephon Diggs being away from Minnesota is actually going to hurt them.
Yeah.
So, and I'm looking forward to that. And hey, well, I can't wait till we get to the East next week.
Right.
Oh, we get to the AFC East. It's on next week.
Oh, it's on like Donkey Kong.
God.
Myself, you know, so we're talking about the North Chicago Bears. Gotta represent the hometown, although I'm not very happy about it. We'll get into that in a little bit. Drinking wise, I am going with a good old Spotted Cow from New Glarus Brewing.
Yeah.
I can only get this in Wisconsin, so again, representing the North with my drink here.
Representing the North. And you know what? I'm representing the North too with a little Labatt Blue Light coming out of, you know, Canada area, right? But hey, Detroit loves their Labatt Blue. But I can't mention Buffalo. It's the East.
Not yet, but
hey,
soon.
There we go. Big
All
old
right.
cheers to you.
Cheers,
It's been a
cheers
while.
to all you.
Big old cheers to
Again,
you guys
welcome back.
watching.
We missed y'all. All right.
So speaking about, right, never eating soggy weenies,
Yeah.
we're actually throwing down because, you know, we are talking about the northern teams.
Yep.
So we're going to be talking about Chicago. We're just throwing down some good old-fashioned Chicago Red Hot Beef Frank weenies. That's what we're throwing down today on the kettle. God, I've missed a lot of this.
Yeah.
I've missed
me
this
too.
cooking and
Cooking and talking football and drinking beer. I mean, you know, it's going to be different,
just
but so
can't
what?
go
It's
wrong.
still football, right?
Yeah, he just threw his
Yeah,
yeah.
Just slap those wieners right down.
That's what you do.
All right. So, lots going on. Jay started off with the mask, the face shield, full coverings. We have.
I'm not opting out of the show, I'll tell you that.
No, but we do have some people opting out of the NFL, and day by day it seems like another guy jumps on the train. The first player was a guard from the Chiefs, actually their starting guard.
Yeah.
But they already signed somebody. How was it? Chiefs already found somebody to fill the hole this last season.
It wasn't going to take long with the Chiefs. I mean, come on. You're going to be signing with the defending Super Bowl champions.
Yeah.
Of course. And, hey, you know what? Hey, I get it with this opting out. I've seen the different levels. You got high-risk players. You got the low-risk players. They're going to be paying the high-risk players a little bit of compensation money. Look, they got asthma, whatever the hell. They got a hurt testicle. I don't know. They said they can't play.
Cancer, their kids got something.
Exactly, and I get it. Look, I'm not.
Patriots are up to 6.
I like having fun with it. I also am serious about it.
Mm-hmm.
I respect it. I understand it.
Yep.
I truly believe, though, if we want to get on the funny side of things, that you know what, the New England Patriot fans that got the most, or New England Patriot players have
6.
the most players.
Yeah.
That are opting out. How come? Is it because of COVID-related stuff?
Or
is it because Tom Brady ain't there no more? I mean, I'm not saying, I'm just saying.
And again, so we're just mentioning that right now. We'll get into more about the Patriots soon, but next week actually. But next week. Yeah, so we got that going on. There's players opting out. There's a new injury designation in the NFL, COVID-19 designation.
Yep.
Whether they had it or they're quarantined because someone they know or someone they're around had it. So that's a change.
And we're going to get into a little bit of that with NFL fantasy talk.
We will.
So, as soon as we get past some of this intro stuff,
yep.
How's that going to affect your fantasy rosters?
Right.
COVID related, man.
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy out there.
It's like I said, looking forward to football. It's going to be different. It's going to be a different season, different rules, different things. And again, it will affect fantasy, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. We can move on to something that's changing after 83 years. 83 years, man. And they finally caved from all the pressure from the media and these left. I don't want to get too political.
Look. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to let you go ahead. I'm going to let you do your rant, okay?
Yeah.
And then hand that over for me.
I'll give you the handoff. So anyways, 83 years, right? I think it's ridiculous. You see, you know exactly what we're talking about. They're front and center of our display here tonight. The Washington Redskins are pressured by their sponsors, by the media, by everybody else to change their team name because someone was offended. Are you effing kidding me? I'm so sick and tired of everybody being offended. We'll do our little rants and we'll get into football. We just got to get this off our chests. We know you're all watching because you want to get away from that bullshit. And this is bullshit. The Redskins are always going to be the Redskins to me. Said 83 years, and now you're going to change it because a few people are offended. Get the hell out of here. Anyways, I think it's ridiculous. I think it's sad. They haven't come up with a new name yet. They're the Washington football team right now. It's just stupid. Just stupid. Jay, go ahead. I'll give you the handoff on that.
There you go. Okay. Listen, coming from a Native American of the Shawnee tribe, all right, when I get tan, I get a little red skin. Am I offended because the Washington Redskins are a team in the NFL? No. I absolutely think this is a joke, and we caved. Dan Snyder, the NFL caved when the NFL should have had their back. When Nike said, we're no longer going to put any of your products on our page. When Amazon said Nike. What they said. You know what? Nike has a contract with the NFL. A contract with the NFL. And the NFL did not stand to defend the Washington Redskins. There should have been a legal battle that they sued the Nike Corporation for what they were doing for signing a contract. Everything was all good and hunky-dory before, wasn't it? FedEx had no problem naming the stadium FedEx Field.
Yep,
oh, but Nike wants to throw around their weight when what are they doing? Who are they using to put their products out there, where does Nike products come from? They don't come from the USA. I'll tell you that right now. So I'm a little ticked off about this whole Washington Redskins thing. It is a political motive that should not have happened in the NFL. Period. End of story.
Yep.
I can't take it. They will always be the Washington Redskins. If you ask 99.9% of Native Americans, they will tell you it was not offensive. People want to sit there and talk about a Redskin as being a scalped Indian? Wrong. That is not where the Redskin name came from, okay? So listen, it's a joke. Washington will always be the Redskins. They've been a part of the NFL for 83 years.
83 years, man. It's
And
dumb.
that is my rant
Yep.
on the Washington Redskins, and they will always forever be the Redskins in my. And hey, God bless you who went ahead and did 13 trademark names on July 8th after Washington said they're going to move on from this. You, my friend, are going to be a multi-billionaire because of the trademark rights that they're trying to buy from you right now, and they don't know what they're going to do. And I think it's great. I think it's great that that guy came up with 13 names, and he had 2 of them that they want. And I think one of them was the Washington Veterans. I think that was one. The other one, I'm still torn between the Warriors or the Monuments. I'm not sure.
Monuments I don't like.
Yeah, I didn't like it either. I think it was the Warriors, maybe.
I heard Red Spears today.
Red Spears, well-
which was their alternate logo. That, you know, the spear on the helmet.
I don't know if he had the Red Spears. I saw the names he had, and I just want to say I give that guy a lot of credit. I give that guy a lot of credit.
I did see somebody today actually on the Warriors that they said, hey, the Warriors is a great name and leave the logo the same. The dude was a warrior. That guy's a picture of a Native American warrior.
You know, here's
But,
the thing
again,
too.
people are-
Here's the thing with Washington.
Yeah.
Why do you have to get rid of the logo?
Right, exactly. He's a warrior.
Go to any other professional sport. You've got the Chicago Blackhawks logo, right?
Best.
You got the
Hockey
Cleveland Indian
sweater,
fucking logo,
period.
right? I mean, you're getting
Can't
rid
argue
of
with that.
You know how many different high schools,
Right there.
college
Blackhawks.
stadiums, who all have an Indian warrior
Yep.
as their logo, and you guys have to get rid of the logo too?
Yeah.
You don't have to get rid of the logo. You could have named yourself the Washington Warriors and kept the logo.
Yep.
No, we're going to put a number 7. We're going to put numbers on our
Yeah,
helmets.
We're going to look like a.
I don't care who
junior
you
high-
are.
Junior high team.
I don't care about the 20-some-year-old kids right
No.
now and who you are and what number you are, because you know what? You play for the team that's represented on the helmet. You don't play for the name on the back of your jersey.
That's right.
I don't like the number.
Amen.
I don't like it.
No, I agree.
All right, that's
so
it.
that's enough. We're moving on from that. One last thing, and again, you know, people tune into the show. They tune into sports on Sunday or whatever night, Monday night football, Thursday night football, whatever it may be, Thanksgiving Day, to get away from everything. They might have money on the game. They're betting with their brother. They're in a fantasy league. They got something going on. They got a family league. They want to escape. We do this to escape. You know, we both work. We have families. You all work, have families and kids and what have you. This is our escape, right? Our escape from
is.
the day-to-day bullshit.
Yeah.
And the day-to-day bullshit is all the other crap that's going on in the world. All the politics, the social injustice, the people who are offended.
The Chinese virus pandemic.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah, thank you, Donald Trump.
That's a
The
problem.
Chinese virus and all that kind of stuff, right? So now the NFL is caving to that too, saying, you know, they can put social justice messages on their helmets and on the end zones or whatever. Damn it, NFL. Are you effing kidding me? Again, you're our escape from reality. We turn into sports because we want to get away from the bullshit, and you're bringing the bullshit into your sport. Stop it. Stop it. It's ridiculous. I don't want to go too much more into it, but that's how I feel.
Did you happen to watch the Ranger game last night?
I did not. The Texas Rangers?
No,
Baseball?
I'm talking about hockey.
No, I did not.
There was not one person, and look, again, we're not trying to take this and make it political and what have you, but you know what? In this country, 2 men right here who have boys in the military, we stand for the national anthem. And to watch the Rangers game last night, and to see those teams, the coaches on the bench, every player standing for not just the American national anthem, but also the Canadian national anthem, that said something to me.
That's what I like about hockey.
And that is what I love about hockey as well.
Yeah.
And we're not a hockey show, but damn it, NFL should take some pointers. Have you heard about hockey making things political? No. It's an international sport.
Yep.
International sport. Maybe the NFL should do the same, knowing that they're trying to, get out into Europe. They tried the whole Canadian thing with Buffalo there with the bullshit and playing in Toronto.
Yeah.
You know what? Make it international. And stand. When you're playing in America, you stand for the national anthem. That's what we do. Do we agree there's social injustices? Sure.
Look who's standing.
That's who's standing.
Thank you. But at the same token, you can get by it without making it a political issue. Period.
Yep, I agree. I don't know if we have enough beer for this show.
I don't know if we have enough beer either.
So, again, we said we didn't want to get too involved. We had to get it off our chest, but we are going to move on from that bullshit because you guys did tune in to listen about football, not that shit. So let's go on and talk about some fantasy football, Jay.
I am all for it. Who the hell wants to get in? Let's talk about some fantasy. Let's talk about what's going to happen in our leagues this year. Our leagues, your leagues. Are your commissioners making provisions? What's going to happen this year? COVID players. Hey, certain teams. Look at what's going on in baseball, right? A little bit. Hey, if somebody all of a sudden there's an outbreak on a team, what are you going to do?
The Marlins.
What's going to happen in the NFL? I love what Buffalo has done. I love what Sean McDermott has done. And that is simple. You are away from this team and you're away from practice and you're away from training. You stay home. You don't go out to the bars. You don't go out to the restaurants. You stay home and you embrace and respect the team.
Yeah.
Because you're not just going to hurt your family, you're going to hurt the team.
It's not all about
I
team, bro.
love what he's talking. And hey, in the fantasy world right now, I think we should all love some of them Buffalo Bills right now. I'm just hey, I'm not saying, I'm just saying.
You know what? Speaking of things we love, I'm going to tell you who I love.
Oh,
I
goodness.
love
What do you love?
Monkey Knife Fight.
Oh,
Monkey Knife Fight. It is the newest daily fantasy sports site, which allows you to compete against the house rather than against pros.
Mm-hmm.
Baseball's back, hockey, football's going to happen, basketball's happening,
NASCAR.
There's all kinds of
Golf.
things to get in there. We haven't been able to bet on much for
UFC.
months.
There's all kinds of
It
things.
is
Fight Island,
back.
come on.
It's back. So sign up today. Use our promo code Tailgaters.
Tailgaters.
You will get a 100% match deposit. On your deposit up to $50 instantly. So that's a free $50 for signing up. Helps us out. Helps you out. Go to Monkey Knife Fight. Sign up today.
MonkeyKnifeFight.com, baby.
You can get into some sports action right now.
Yeah,
Right now.
buddy.
It's a lot of fun.
Oh, I love it.
Monkey
I love
Knife
it.
Fight. Okay. So getting back to how this China virus is going to affect the NFL fantasy. Fantasy. So do you expand the rosters? One thing I don't like about expanded rosters, most leagues, say like a standard 10-team league, which is probably 80% of the leagues out there, have about 15 and 16 players on your roster. Once you start going deeper than that, the waiver wire, there's nobody home.
Right.
You're drafting, you're looking for backup quarterbacks, third string running backs, wide receiver number 4, number 5, tight end number 2. It makes it very difficult. So my thoughts are, you got to expand the IR a little bit. Keep your roster the same, but you could have maybe 2 to 3 extra spots on the IR in case one of the guys gets COVID.
You know what? I really do like that. I've had a couple of people actually reach out to me as well, and one of them happened to be my brother. And, he had some good ideas as well, and one of them was expanding IR. You know what? You got to be careful in the fantasy world. We don't want to have people putting players on IR who are not COVID related.
Right.
So you keep that 1, maybe 2. Some of your leagues have 2 IR players, but you expand it to where there's a COVID IR put in 3, maybe 4 players that are going to be needed for COVID-related stuff.
Yep.
And I actually do agree with that. I like that. I think it's a great idea. But yeah, I mean, how are we going to move forward? Expanded rosters, a little tough. Like B-Rod just touched on. I mean, what are we going to do? You're going to have 22 rounds in your draft, and you're drafting players that, Jesus, you don't even know what the hell's going on. Who knows? Maybe, just maybe, you open up the waiver wire. You open up that waiver wire so it happens on Tuesday morning instead of most waiver wires are right around the Wednesday, Thursday timeline. So open up that waiver wire maybe just a little bit sooner so that if you got a guy on COVID, you can go pick somebody up right away. I mean, there's a lot of different options you can do. I think fantasy football commissioners have a lot at hand to figure some of this stuff out. But you know what? We're all adults. And we can figure out how to deal with COVID in a fantasy element. Yeah, we can do it.
Well, you know what? The NFL is kind of helping out a little bit too. They're expanding their rosters. They're expanding the practice squad. So, in case 5 guys get COVID or what have you, they can bring the next 5 guys up. You know, so there's hopefully they don't have to do like what the Marlins just did and shut down because they got 14 guys in an outbreak. Don't know how it's going to happen. I mean, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting year. It's going to be a different year. And it's going to suck down having fans in the stands.
Hey, I'm ready for some two-way players. Two-way players coming back to the NFL.
I love it.
Come on. I want to see Christian McCaffrey not only running the rock, I want to see him
covering Tyreek
Dude,
Hill.
I want to see him honestly being like a freaking middle linebacker. I love it because I think McCaffrey could do it. I really do. I really do.
I like it. I like it.
Shit.
So, anyway, there's going to be changes in your fantasy league. Make sure you're talking to your commissioner, give them your input on what should be done, but definitely can't do the same thing we did last year. We need to make changes and adapt in the fantasy world as well.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
All right, cool. Should we move on and get into some?
Just get into get into the AFC North, the NFC North. Where are we going to start? Where do you want to go?
Yeah, so we did a couple things here. We're going to talk a little bit about each team. Just touch on all 8 teams here that we have in front of us. Not including the Redskins, as their representative.
Hey, next week the Redskins will still be up there in the middle.
Yeah, buddy. And we're going to give you our prediction for each team, and then just talk a little bit about fantasy relevance and their additions, subtractions, and what have you.
I love it.
All right?
I love it.
Cool.
Let's go.
All right, you want me to lead off?
You know, we're gonna go with the AFC or NFC first? Where
Let's go with our list here. Go with Baltimore.
We're gonna go with the NFC. We're going with the AFC. We're gonna go with Baltimore. Okay. What? Come on, Baltimore Ravens. I think we all know Lamar Jackson is the guy who you're gonna have to go ahead and pick up. If that guy doesn't go in the top 3 of any NFL draft, then obviously you're in a league that they just don't know. But Lamar Jackson, by far, in Baltimore, is going to be the top cats, as he should be. And I kind of like what Baltimore's got going on. Shit. Hang on one second. Give me a minute here. Let's see. We got what? Losses. Hayden Hurst. Is that really going to be a big deal with the tight end
Mark
situation?
Andrews is a stud, and actually it helps Mark Andrews if you ask me.
What I do like, though, is for an addition, I like J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah.
I like J.K. Dobbins this year to be a standout rookie with that Baltimore organization. I think he by mid-year, you watch, he will have more carries than Mark Ingram. That's what I believe.
Fantastic year
he had a great year last year.
That's because people had a key.
Had a great
Jackson.
year. But J.K. Dobbins, I thought, was one of the best draft picks that Baltimore could have done. I couldn't believe he fell down to them. And you know what? I love it. I think it's going to be fantastic. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. And again, Lamar Jackson is your number one. You've got to have him. Mark Ingram, he's going to be a middle-of-the-road running back in my eyes. Okay? I would not stretch for Mark Ingram in the draft. Sorry. Don't put him in a top 4-5 rounds. Honestly, Mark Ingram could be a little bit less than that. That's my opinion. Take it, leave it, lump it, whatever you want to do. But there you go.
Mark Ingram, as far as PPR, he's the number 70th ranked overall player right now. As far as running backs, that puts Ingram in the 32 spot. So that's really not even a starter. They have the way he's ranked on ESPN.com right now is in the 30s. So he's a flex play.
Yeah.
I think it's a solid flex play. I take Mark Ingram as my flex all the day. But
I use him in some good FanDuel, some DPS leagues last year. It was great.
Yeah. I'm not sour on Mark Ingram, but Dobbins is going to definitely hurt his value a little bit. As we mentioned, Hayden Hurst, I think that just helps Mark Andrews, right? Mark Andrews is going to, he doesn't have another tight end stealing catches from him. Andrews had a fantastic season.
Andrews
to have
he did.
a similar season again. He's a top 5 tight end for sure. Before we move on, before we get too much farther, give me your prediction for Baltimore this year. What do you got for wins and losses?
Oh, wins and God, you're really gonna go there?
I am making you do it, dude. I put in a lot of work to this
losses. All right, so are we gonna go on a 16-game season?
Yes.
We're gonna go on a 16-game season.
Yes.
I am gonna. Oh, Jesus.
Baltimore, give me a number.
Here we go. Baltimore Ravens this year.
You need the envelope to your forehead.
I'm going with 11-5.
11-5. All right.
11-5 this year. I think they'll have 5 losses. That is where I'm going with that because I do believe there's going to be some teams that are going to queue on Lamar. And guess what? One of those teams last year was Buffalo. They really were the only team that actually shut him down. I appreciated that, and I think more teams are going to do that. They're going to take some notes.
Baltimore does have a big hole. Marshall Leanda is gone, retired, and he was a hell of an offensive guard. Hell of a guy. They replaced him with DJ Fluker. That's definitely a downgrade in the middle of the offensive line for Baltimore. And the major additions were along the defensive line with Derek Wolfe from Denver and Cleus Campbell. I think he came from Arizona, I want to say. That's the big additions here for Baltimore this year. Having said that, I'm looking at their schedule. I got Baltimore 1 game less than they did last year. Last year they won 14-2. I see Baltimore going 13-3 this season.
Okay, all right.
So 13-3 for the Ravens. There's not much more to talk about fantasy-wise. Wide receivers, I'm still not super sold on anybody there other than Hollywood Brown. After that, there's not much there. So, again, you got Lamar Jackson, you got Mark Andrews. Those are your top 2 guys.
Oh, definitely.
And then Mark Ingram and then Dobbins are your most value. And then Hollywood Brown is maybe wide receiver number 3.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, cool.
Let's move on.
Moving on from
Pittsburgh?
Baltimore. All right, fine. We can go to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right.
Want me to lead off?
Steelers. Go right ahead, man. Go right
Okay.
ahead.
Pittsburgh Steelers. They got another Watt brother. They got Derek Watt. They got 2 to 3 Watts in the NFL. Don't know if there's a rule to that, but they're cornering the market there. They picked up a tight end that I was hoping the Bears would go after from Indy, Eric Ebron.
Eric Ebron. That was a great addition.
They got him for a bag of footballs. The Bears paid a whole bunch of money for Jimmy Graham, and the Steelers really got a steal with Ebron. He's had some health issues, but he's a great tight end. I like him a lot. When he's healthy, he produces.
Yeah.
With Big Ben coming back, there's no reason to think he's not. I think that's a great option for him. Big Ben. So what's Big Ben going to do? Is he going to be the Big Ben of old, or is he too old to do anything anymore? That's a great question. I think he's still good enough to produce, but not great. He's lost his 2 best friends, and I don't know if they're best friends, but 2 best weapons from he had 2 years ago when he was playing full-time with Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown.
Antonio
Conner.
Antonio
I
who?
like James Conner when he's healthy, but he's running back number 52. He's way down on the list. So again, he's maybe a flex play. He's not a starter. Juju had a terrible year last year, but because Big Ben wasn't there.
Exactly.
Juju this year's wide receiver number 26 as of today, which means he should be a wide receiver number 2. He should be, or maybe the 3rd, 4th round is where Juju should go, according to the current rankings right now for the Steelers. Tight end wise, we talked about Ebron. I like Ebron. Maybe it's a low end top 10. Not in your top 5 for sure, but maybe around 9, 10, 11, somewhere in that ballpark out of Ebron. Other notables for the Steelers, not much. Wide receiver Chase Claypool was an early draft pick for the Steelers. He is projected to be the wide receiver number 4 so he's really not fantasy relevant unless the COVID hits their wide receiver corps pretty hard. Other than that, I have the Steelers finishing even Steven at 8-8 in 2020.
Wow, really?
Yep.
All right. So me personally, and we're gonna divvy up these hot dogs right now because they just popped open so freaking easy. So there you go, my friend. Hey, look, we got little rappers coming around and doing the thing. Anyway, hey, for me, look, you hit the nail really head with hit the nail on the head.
I hit
Big Ben.
I got some head.
Big Ben. Big Ben is going to be, look, it's his last stand. In my eyes, it's his last stand. I believe Big Ben is going to have a fantastic year, even with some of the subtractions and additions that he's got going on. But I do believe Juju Smith-Schuster will have a huge uptick this year. I think Eric Ebron is going to be one hell of an addition to the tight end position. Yes, Vance McDonald is still there.
They'll be sleeping on Juju
But
this year, yeah.
I'm telling you right now, I do believe Ebron is going to be great for Big Ben. Big Ben does love his tight ends. Big Ben is going to have a good year. I really think this is his last stand. I don't think you're going to see Big Ben next year. So I'm looking forward to a fantastic year from him.
He always puts up like those sneaky 30-point games.
You know, he does. He does. And running back wise, I'm not a big fan of their running back situation right now. It looked very grim last year as it was. So definitely if you're going to get on board with some fantasy players on Pittsburgh, you're going to be looking for Big Ben. You're going to look for Juju to have a big bounce back year. And watch out for the sneaky sleeper in Eric Ebron. I don't know if is he a top 10? He's a sleeper. He's a sleeper in my eyes. I think he's going to do a fantastic job with Pittsburgh.
I agree.
Where am I going with that? you guys are going to love this
Steelers.
one. You guys are going to love this one.
Yeah.
11-5, tying with Baltimore, but they will edge them out with the tiebreaker.
Woo! You got the
That's
Steelers taking the North?
Where I got
Tell
the
me the
Steelers
are king of the North.
taking the North, baby.
Okay. So we differ there just a bit.
Little bit.
Let's move on to the...
And don't be hating with ketchup and mustard on a hot dog. Well, I get it, right? I don't really care. This is what I'm doing tonight, so...
Hey, brother. Let's move on to the mistake by the lake.
Oh,
also
Cleveland.
known as Cleveland.
Oh, God.
All right.
Wait a minute. I got mustard all over my fucking hand.
Yeah, that's okay. Hey, I don't have any paper
Oh,
towels.
right.
Remember?
No, we're out of paper towels. Sorry about that. Or your dogs are getting wrinkly right now
Yeah,
because, you know,
thanks.
it's taking a little long.
So,
But,
all right. So we're at the mistake by the lake.
We are at the mistake by lake. We're talking about Cleveland.
I'm squirting
All
ketchup
right.
all over the place. Go ahead.
Cleveland right now, as far as I'm concerned, they're in the same boat
Yeah.
they were in last year, okay? You got another new head coach. You got all new front office. You got new offensive coordinator. You got new everything again for Baker Mayfield. What are they going to do? Nothing. It's a bunch of hype. You got Odell. You got Jarvis. Oh, hey, we picked up this fancy new little toy in Austin Hooper.
Yeah.
Hoop, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. You were a fantastic fantasy player for me last year and even the year before with Matt Ryan there in Atlanta. In Cleveland, yeah, man, you're going to see your numbers are going to drop off. I am not a big Austin Hooper fan this year. I would stay away from Hooper. Don't fall for his numbers that he's put up the last couple of years. I'm telling you, it's going to be a
You're not
whole
falling for the banana in the tailpipe?
different story this year with Baker Mayfield and that offense that they're going to be running. You got OBJ, big mouth. You got Jarvis, big mouth. They're going to want the ball. Hooper's not going to get a whole hell of a lot of action. You got Nick Chubb, who's going to be running the ball all over the damn place. I'm sorry. I don't like what's happening in Cleveland. I think they're making a mistake. I think they've made mistakes. I think they personally have poor ownership. And as far as I'm concerned, I got it marked down.
Give me a number.
You ready?
Yep.
8-8.
Oh,
8-8. That's where I'm going with
Wow.
Cleveland. 8-8.
So very interesting.
They will
So-
not be over 500.
Okay. After that, I'm surprised that he actually pulled out 8 wins from that little rant on the Browns there.
Because you know why? Because they're going to get a couple on. You know, you get one on Miami. They're going to get these little pull-offs that are bullshit. That's why.
So-
and Cincinnati, those are 2 wins for them right there. Serious.
So-
That's 2 wins.
The Brownies have actually done a couple things that are right. They are trying to build their lines on both sides of the ball.
Okay.
So the number 10, they took Jedrick Wills, offensive tackle from Alabama.
Sure.
So nice pick. They added some offensive tackle Jack Conklin also in the offseason, so that's good for their line. Adrian Claiborne came in. So they on the defensive side of the ball. So excuse me. So they've built up their line a little bit. Austin Hooper is a much better tight end than David Njoku. I don't think Njoku might even be on the roster anymore. We'll see what happens. Hooper, though, as Jay said, I agree. He's going to downgrade. ESPN has him ranked as number 14 tight end going into the draft.
What a shame.
So it's a drop. You know, the guy was again,
Huge.
top 5,
Huge.
down to number 14. Why? Because of Baker Mayfield.
Because he's on Cleveland.
Baker Mayfield had more turnovers than touchdowns last year. He had 23 turnovers and 22 touchdowns. His completion rate dropped from like 65 to 59%. Sorry, 63 to 59%. So Baker Mayfield was a big part of the problem last year. They got OBJ. They thought their world was going to be saved, and it wasn't. OBJ was hurt last year. He didn't do anything for him. Jarvis Landry was the better receiver in Cleveland last year. But guess what? Now Jarvis Landry's dealing with some injuries going into the 2020 season. OBJ supposedly is healthy, but OBJ isn't the security blanket that Landry is. Landry's your slot guy. You go across and take the hits and make all the catches. OBJ's your home run threat. So that's not going to help Mayfield get a better completion percentage. Hooper might help a little bit. What I do like on Cleveland, again, I mentioned I like that they beefed up their line a little bit. They also picked up a good fullback from Denver, Andy Janovich. He's a solid fullback, and he's going to help Nick Chubb. Not that Chubb needs much help, but Chubb running behind Janovich, oh shit, get the hell out of the way. So that's going to help Chubb a bunch, and he got Kareem Hunt. So Kareem Hunt's still there. He's going to take touches away from Chubb. Chubb is the number 18 overall fantasy in a PPR league, and he is the number 11 running back. Kareem Hunt is down the list a little bit at number 26, but they both say that should be drafted maybe as as a Chubb, I'd say as a number 1. Hunt is a low end 2 or flex play. Hooper, according to the current ratings, is not a starter. The problem is, again, I talked about everything I like, but it's still the Browns. They're still in Cleveland. They have a new coach. They have an erratic QB. He hasn't proven jack shit to me. They have a prima donna, 2 prima donnas really, at wide receiver.
Yep.
Having said all that, as much as I like what the Browns are doing and some of the additions that they've made to the team, and I think there's still another year or 2 before making something happen. Maybe this coach can, get everybody to buy into his program. I got the Browns at 6-10 this year.
I got nothing wrong with that, honestly. And I personally, you guys with fantasy and stuff, listen, don't fall for the hype.
Yeah.
I told you guys last year, don't fall for the hype. We all found out. Did not work out so well. Same thing this year. New regime, not enough practice. You got to remember, with this COVID stuff that's going on, new coaches, new offensive schemes, new coordinators, it's going to take its toll on players. So, there you go. And, 6-10, I can agree with that.
All right.
Well,
We'll see. And you know what? That's exactly what the Brownies were last year. So I don't have them improving. I don't have them getting better. Again, just because of they're the Browns and they're just doomed. Jason,
Cincinnati?
you want to take the Bengals? Or you want-
we'll go ahead and get on this
Let me get some of this
Joe
dog here.
Burrow Cincinnati Bengal team that we got going on.
There you go.
Honestly, I'm just gonna put it out there right now. 5-11. That's where I got the Bengals going this year. Is Joe Burrow the savior of Ohio? No, not at all. I think it was a mistake getting rid of Andy Dalton. I think Andy Dalton could have groomed Joe Burrow. I do not believe Joe Burrow is ready for the big stage just yet. Sure, there's a lot of guys out there that all say so. He was not my number one quarterback in the draft. Sorry, that's just where I'm at with that. I really like that kid that's in San Diego right now. But anyway, that's a whole different story. AJ Green's going to be back this year. Is he going to help out Burrow? Is he not going to help? Who knows, right? Who knows what way AJ's going to be doing this year?
I wouldn't mind throwing to him.
You know, I mean, can AJ throw the ball? Or, sorry, can
He might have to.
Can Joe Burrow throw the ball? I mean, is he going to have time in the pocket? Are you going to see a lot of the defenses going up against him like Pittsburgh, Baltimore? Even Cleveland has a fantastic defense, which is why I did give them more wins than I probably should have. But it's their defense that I am impressed about more than anything on the offensive side of the ball. They're going to be coming at Joe Burrow like crazy. Crazy.
Yeah.
Period. I don't see anybody else on that team that's really going to do a damn thing. Joe Mixon, he's another Ohio kid, right?
Yeah.
Nothing. I'm sorry. He had a couple of flashes last year, but nothing worth you going ahead and wasting a draft pick on. Period. Honestly, I would not waste a draft pick in 16 rounds on Joe Mixon. I wouldn't go there. I think they're going to have a hell of a time this year. I think it's going to be a struggle for that entire offense. Period. And Joe Burrow is not the savior. T. Higgins, stay away from T. Higgins. Sorry, not a fan.
He's
5-11.
went to Clemson.
And boy, that's even being generous, because boy, they'll be lucky to probably win 3. So that's my take on that.
All right, Cincinnati. So Jay kind of is not showing any love for Joe Burrow, and nor should he. I mean, Joe Burrow again, rookie QB. And here's the thing: rookies, because of the stupid virus, are not getting normal work and everything else they have that they would with everybody. So
I don't care if we didn't have a normal work.
I know you don't. So that puts Joe behind the 8 ball and ranked number 22 quarterback overall. This makes him a marginal backup in fantasy world. He does get AJ Green. Something interesting, ESPN actually has Tyler Boyd ranked higher than AJ Green by a point. They're just right next to each other. So basically they're saying, we don't fucking know. Flip a coin. Boyd or Green. Personally, I would go Green just because of his history. He does turn 32 this year. He gets a little bit older, but he's still a really good wide receiver. The offensive line, though, they really haven't done much to help their offensive line, unfortunately. They got Joe Mixon. He's a decent running back. I wouldn't consider him a great running back. To me, I would take Mixon as a flex. Some people might like him as a running back number 2. Mixon is actually ranked number 21 overall in PPR, number 13 in all of running backs for a PPR league. So it puts him as an RB number 2. They think he's a high end. I see him more of the low end. That's really about it. They don't have much. Andy Dalton's gone. Tyler Eifert, who never could see the field because he's always hurt, is finally gone. Their biggest draft picks is obviously Joe Burrow and T. Higgins from Clemson. T. Higgins, I don't know if he's going to get enough action to be fantasy relevant. Again, he might be wide receiver number 3 or 4 on Cincinnati, which means he shouldn't be on your team. Having said all that, I got the Bengals improving 2 games from last year at 4-12.
Nice. There you go.
Okay, that wraps up the AFC North. Let's move on to
You sure you're ready to get into the NFC North?
NFC North. And if you don't mind, why don't we just lead off with the, what the hell do I have written down here? The Minnesota Vikings.
Okay, I was going to say, I know you don't want to go Bears first. You want to take it? You want me to take it? Where do you want to go?
I was going to eat a hot dog, but I'll talk about the Vikings.
I'll go too if you want. I don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
You already got a dog down.
Yeah, I do. I got 1 dog down, baby, because I was a hurting unit. Didn't have lunch today.
Talk to me about the Vikings.
Can't tell. Vikings.
Talk to
Listen.
them about the Vikings.
What's going to happen with the loss of Stephon Diggs? I think it's going to really hurt them. I think Adam Thielen is going to be double covered. I think you've got to watch out for Adam Thielen. Don't be putting your money on a first, second round pick right there in fantasy land. I would not do it at all. Stay away there. Kirk Cousins, I think, is going to have a hard time. Justin Jefferson, yeah, he's a flashy rookie. The name is good. The team, LSU, I get it all. I am not on the hype of Justin Jefferson, and it's mainly because of Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins showed a couple of flashes when he got called out. Is he going to get called out by Justin Jefferson? No. A rookie's not going to call out his quarterback, especially Justin. Granted, there are rookies that do. Justin Jefferson's not one of those guys. He's a modest, humble individual. Not going to happen. Don't look for Justin to have a good thing. Dalvin Cook, I think we all know, it's safe to say, that is a good pickup in fantasy. He's a solid. He's gonna be a 1-2 round guy. Period. It's gonna happen. As far as the Vikings go as a whole, I got those Vikings going 8-8. I do not believe they're going to be a playoff team. I think they're going to struggle. I think Zimmerman's going to lose his job, and that's going to be it on the Kirk Cousins show in Minnesota. And Adam Thielen might have a new home. I don't know. You know.
So, all right, let's talk about the Vikings here for a minute.
I love my fellow NFC North Bears fan over here. I love this. I love it.
So I am not a Kirk Cousins fan at all. I'm not even sure if the Vikings is that not PC.
Why not? I like it.
I don't know if anybody's offended by the Vikings.
I mean, they do have the horns with the blonde braids coming down.
That's why they're called the Vikings.
I kind of like the Vikings. I do like it.
Exactly right.
Keep rolling, brother. I love it.
I have lots of other names that I cannot get into about Minnesota right now. So, obviously the big loss Jay already talked about. He went to some team in the Northeast. Stephon Diggs.
You
is
dig?
gone. And he basically replaced with someone who's kind of got a different role, right? So Justin Jefferson at LSU is going to be a slot guy. He's not a very big receiver, but he's a speedy, fast guy. He's a fast dude with good hands.
Is Adam Thielen going to be your deep
Adam
threat?
Thielen's going to have to be their deep threat unless they rely on Tajay Sharp, who they picked up in the offseason.
Yeah.
The Vikings right now, they have Thielen number 1, Justin Jefferson number 2, Tajay Sharp probably number 3. So Thielen and Jefferson are your two relevant receivers there. Obviously Thielen, he's going to be the main guy. He's the wide receiver number 25 right now. I'm sorry, he's not wide receiver number 25. He is fantasy player number 25, wide receiver number 11, which means he's a borderline wide receiver number 1. You got some dude who at the end of the first round decided to take Julio Jones and Tyreek Hill. Guess what? Thielen might have to be your wide receiver number 1 if you're picking in the middle to the end of the second round. It's not a terrible choice. It might have to be your choice. Justin Jefferson, he's a little bit down the list. He is, where is Mr. Jefferson here? He is the 119 overall, and so that puts him more in the wide receiver number 3 or 4 range. So Kirk Cousins, I'm not a fan. He is quarterback number 21. I don't know if the Vikings are a big fan of Kirk Cousins. Someone we failed to mention here is Dalvin Cook, though. So the guy you want to go after Thielen, or maybe before Thielen, is Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook stayed healthy for most of last year, except for towards the very end, maybe. But when he was healthy, he was a stud. He's your running back number 5. He will probably be off the board in the first round, if not very early second. Very early. Dalvin Cook is a stud running back when healthy, so go after him. Other than Diggs, which is a big loss, Everson Griffin was a huge blow for the Vikings. He was a great edge rush. Linval Joseph in the middle of the line, that hurts him a little bit too. Xavier Rhodes and Trey Waynes, Alexander, their cornerbacks were like, eh. So they picked up a couple corners in the draft. We'll see if they do any better. So anyways, having said all that, because of the Vikings schedule, I don't think it's that difficult. I had the Vikings finishing the season at 10-6.
Wow.
In first place in the NFC North.
Come on. No, you did
First
not.
place. Yes, I did.
No way.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
All right. I'm not even going to bother. I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to go there.
You want me to go next?
Go ahead.
Keep going?
Yeah,
Keep talking?
You go ahead. Go ahead.
All right.
Where you
Moving
going?
on to Green Bay.
Woo! Going to the Packers.
Green Bay Packers. Green Bay Packers. I don't think a lot of people are excited about their draft, but they never are. Go the fuck home. Jordan Love, is he the QB of the future in Green Bay?
Oh, jeez.
There's already talks about Aaron Rodgers saying that, hey, I don't see my future in Green Bay. This could be his last year. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did they make the right pick in Jordan Love? I think it's a reach. I don't think Jordan Love's could be the next great thing. If they do, you may see me jumping off a freaking building if the Packers hit on 3 QBs in a row, Favre, Rodgers, and Love.
No.
That would be complete bullshit
No.
and not fair. And anyways, I don't think Love is the man. I'm not sure if Green Bay feels the way either. I don't know if we have any Packers fans watching. Tom Kuhn, where you at? Chime in. I'd love to hear what you got to say about Jordan Love. Devin Funchess, one of their key additions, wide receiver,
He's already on the COVID, opt out, whatever.
I'm done.
He says, I'm done.
he's not playing. He's done. So they really don't got much. They picked up a linebacker from Cleveland and Kirksey, and they lost quite a bit. Geronimo, he's gone. Jimmy Graham, gone. Ryan Beluga, tackle, gone. Blake Martinez, solid linebacker, gone. Trayvon Williams, an actually decent quarterback for the Packers, gone. So they've had more significant subtractions than they have additions in Green Bay. Green Bay, in my opinion, last year, and the Bears had this too, they had all the right bounces for them to go 13-3. They really did. My prediction for the Packers in 2020, assuming there's a 16-game season, is the Packers go 9-7, down 4 games from last year, and they take second place in the weak NFC North this year.
Wrong.
There you have it.
Wrong. Wrong.
Well, they're in NFC North.
Period. Look, you got Aaron Rodgers on that team. You've heard some of the things that he's saying. Aaron Rodgers is a solid number 1 quarterback that you have to take in the draft. Period.
I didn't even talk about that.
Jones, solid running back you need to be taking in the draft. Devontae Adams, solid wide receiver you have to be taking in the draft. Green Bay is Green Bay. They do have good coaching, good young coaching. They do. Something some other teams don't have. But I will tell you right now, I do believe in Aaron Rodgers, I do believe in Devontae Adams, and I do believe in Aaron Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And I do believe those 3 right there are solid enough to take Green Bay to equal their wins and be 13-3 and take the NFC North Division, period.
Woo.
Hey, I'm not
I'm
not trying to be a hater. I'm not trying to be anywhere there. I'm going to get into my reasons behind some of this in a little bit when we get a little further down the list here with the NFC North. But I do agree with the players that they have. I think Adams, Jones, Rodgers are all 3 players that will be taken in the top 3 rounds of every single NFL draft, fantasy draft, honestly.
Rodgers, I'm not sure. Rodgers is ranked number 130.
In our draft, he's going number 1 because I already know who's going to take him.
Aaron Rodgers right now on ESPN.com is ranked the number 13 quarterback overall. He did not have a great year last year. We talked about Rodgers a lot.
We did.
And Aaron Jones, yeah, he was one of the top couple running backs, not named Christian McCaffrey and Austin Eckler. But
And Devontae Adams in the late
Adams had a rough
stages
start. Yeah.
was amazing.
But my problem is they're going to be able to pay a lot of attention to Adams. And after Adams, they don't have jack shit. They don't have a decent tight end.
Nobody thought they had jack shit last year with Geronimo and with who the hell was that other guy that all of a sudden people were picking up on the
Lazard?
goddamn. Thank you.
So
I mean, come on. It was there. Rodgers can make any receiver. That's the
but
difference
he didn't
between.
last year.
He did with these no names.
Yeah.
He did.
That's why
Oh,
Rodgers was getting 10
shit.
points in fantasy.
Come on.
So here's their current depth chart for wide receiver: Devontae Adams, Alan Lazard, nobody. Number 1 tight end, Jay Sternberger. Who the hell is that?
Tell you what, you're probably going to know that name come week 3 when people are picking him up in the friggin' waiver wire.
You know. So, anyways, he couldn't do anything with Jimmy Graham, although I will get into him in a minute.
No, wait, come on now.
Yeah.
We're talking about an
He's
old
a bum.
Oh,
He's a
please.
bum. 13
Exactly.
3, my big fat white
And who
ass.
picked him up? Who picked him up?
We're not ready for that. All
Uh-huh.
right, moving on to the Lions. Want to talk about Detroit?
With who?
Yeah.
Who?
I'm all sticky.
Go ahead. That's you. Oh,
Talking
no, is
about
that
the
me?
Lions? Yeah, you talking
Oh,
about Detroit.
Jesus. That's me talking about the Lions. I don't want to talk about the Lions.
Nobody does. All right, give me a number and let's move on. No, I'm just kidding.
No, yeah, I know, right? Hey, look, you know what? Matt Stafford was having a fantastic year before he got hurt last year. He was actually leading all quarterbacks in yards before he got hurt. What was it, right around 2,600 yards when he got hurt in week 6 or whatever the hell
Yeah,
it was?
well,
He was on a terror. Matt Stafford is a good quarterback.
Yes.
What does he have? It's hard to say. That's why I say Detroit Lions. Who? Sure, they got this Geronimo Allison from Green Bay. Look, Matt Stafford is not Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers slings the ball. Matt Stafford is more methodical, kind of like a Tom Brady. Has Tom Brady ever made a wide receiver good? Think. No, we're not talking about Randy Moss. We're not talking about Edelman. We're not talking about has he made a wide receiver? No. Aaron Rodgers has. Brett Favre has. Matt Stafford has not made wide receivers. He's had some damn good ones, and Calvin Johnson's not around. I'm sorry. I don't see this team doing a whole hell of a
Barry
lot.
Sanders isn't there anymore.
Exactly. Shit, I was going to go with Rodney Peete. But you know what? I'm not going to go there either with Rodney Peete. No,
Rodney Pete's
honestly,
wife.
look, Detroit, I'm not a big fan of them this year. I think they're going to struggle. I do think they're going to finish in the bottom of the NFC North. I do believe they're going to be a 7-9 team.
Okay.
7-9, 6-10. I'm going to go and give them maybe that one little extra and go. We're going to go 7-9.
You're a
7-9.
lot more generous than I am, and we'll get into in a minute. So Lions, like Jay said, Stafford's having a great year until he got hurt. And this could be his last year. You know, we'll see what happens with Mr. Stafford here. Excuse me while I'm sticking fire.
God, as long as you're not pissing in a bottle right now, I'm okay. I mean,
No,
that's for games. Those are for games when we're tailgating,
You know,
right?
one thing I do like about what the Lions is they picked up a good running back in the draft, DeAndre Swift. So I like him a lot. But if he's all they got, and Stafford's hurt, and they're going to have to rely on Chase Daniel, who they picked up from the Bears, they're in deep shit. I love Kenny Galladay out of NIU. He's their wide receiver
I did
number
not
one.
touch on
And
Galladay.
Galladay's probably that's the guy you want to go after in the Lions, right?
I would say so, definitely.
Yeah, he is actually ranked wide receiver number 8. Galladay's a wide receiver number 1 for fantasy, but ESPN has him ranked right now, which
I don't hold a lot of clue with ESPN personally,
No.
but that's just me.
I mean, so Galladay, they got Galladay over people like Allen Robinson from the Bears. I'd probably go Robinson. Adam Thielen, Juju, Amari Cooper, Courtland Sutton. Those are all people.
Well, to be honest, I would take Galladay over Thielen. I would take Galladay over Thielen.
Yeah.
I don't have any faith in what's going to happen with Thielen with the loss of Diggs, and I have no faith in Kirk Cousins.
Nobody does. So, anyways, I like DeAndre Swift. Stafford's a question mark. Galladay's your guy to go after as far as Lions fantasy-wise. DeAndre Swift, again, talking about liking him. He's ranked actually number 54 overall in fantasy, which puts him as the number 23 running back, which says he should be probably a flex. RB number 3.
RB2, 3, maybe. Yeah.
Low
right
end
in
2,
there,
high
yeah.
end 3.
Yep.
Not terrible. Something you can go after. But again, rookies, I'm a little cautious about this year because of their lack of prep time because of the China virus. So, anyways, having said all that, the Lions, I have the Lions at the bottom of the division with a record of 3-13, which is exactly how they finished 2019. Yep.
Wow.
They're going to be competing for that number 1 overall. So, that's my thoughts on Detroit. And we have one more team in the North to talk about, and I am going to let you lead off. So then
You want the end of that, huh?
So I get the end of my beloved.
We are going to go and talk about Chicago Bears right now. And I know you're probably like, oh, Jesus, I don't even want to hear it. But hey, you know what? Just wait, because he's really not going to want to hear some of what I got to say. Allen Robinson is by far, I think, the best player on this team, fantasy-wise, you need to be looking for. I believe Allen Robinson is going to be probably one or two coming out of the NFC North as far as top wide receiver contributors and fantasy points. Now, what's going to set him apart from being number one in fantasy points this year is Nick Foles or Mitch Trubisky. That's what's going to set him apart. Me personally, I am all on board with the Foles train. I believe Chicago, even with this pandemic and the short time and the learning curve, where does Nick Foles thrive? He thrives in situations like this. He thrives as that backup that didn't have all those reps. He thrives in coming in and saying, here's what I can do. If Chicago can put Nick Foles as their number one over a Mitchless Trubisky, you will see a huge difference in that team. I believe David Montgomery will be one hell of a running back behind Nick Foles. Allen Robinson, you could consider him a number one wide receiver in the NFC North behind Nick Foles. I think the defense will thrive with Nick Foles as the general of that offense. If it is Mitch Trubisky, which I say stay away from, and please, dear God, don't anybody draft Mitch Trubisky in your fantasy leagues. Granted, I love watching Mitch Trubisky go in the one league we have, because that sumbitch usually goes around 6, and I laugh every time he does. They laugh at me for Josh Allen. I fall over hysterically with Mitch Trubisky. If he at the helm, if he ends up being their starter, the Bears go 9-7. With Nick Foles as the starter, mark my words, from day one, if he's the starter on the Chicago Bears, they will be fighting for the NFC North. I see them coming up just short, and they will finish at 12-4 under Nick fucking A. Foles. And that's what I'm going with that one. Chicago, baby! Yeah, buddy!
I like it, Jay. I like your enthusiasm. I wish I could share it.
I know you can.
So, where do I start on my beloved Chicago Bears? I've been a fan since I was able to, as soon as I could see football, I love the Bears. Walter Payton, Singletary, Buckus, you name it, Jim McMahon, 85 Bears. I can name every starter from that team. Anyways, the Bears for years have continued to let me and all their fans down for a long time, really since 1985. We had a little tease a while ago now when Peyton Manning beat us in the Super Bowl in the rain in Miami.
Devin Hester's kickoff run back.
That was the best part of the Super Bowl. After that, one of the all-time greatest quarterbacks, Peyton Manning, took over. So, having said that, the Bears. Last year, they couldn't run the football to save their damn life. What did they do in the offseason to improve their running game? Absolutely nothing. They did not get a new running back. They did get one new backup failure from Seattle to play guard, Jermaine Afidi, who is just someone there to take up a roster spot and wear a uniform on a sideline and maybe hold a water bottle. He is not a starter. He's not the answer. So, Kyle Long, love the man. Couldn't stay on the field. Great dude. Good player when he's healthy, but he's gone. They didn't replace him with anybody. What the hell, Bears? Nothing on the offensive line. So you're not helping your run game. You're not helping your quarterback. I don't care if it's Trubisky, Foles, McMahon, Sid Luckman, or whoever. You're screwed because you don't have an awesome offensive line that can block. So that's kind of where the Bears are at. David Montgomery, everybody was high out of this kid out of Iowa State. Have you seen the kid run the rock? He pussyfoots to the line. You know why? Because he doesn't have a hole to run through. Even if there was a hole, the guy's pussyfoot. He is not a decent running back. I am not a David Montgomery fan. We should have found a running back somewhere, somehow. Melvin Gordon went. There's plenty of running backs that are available. Shady McCoy. I could go on and on about the running backs that are available to come in and help Chicago, to teach Cohen and Montgomery how to run the rock. But again, it's difficult to run the rock if you don't have an effing hole to go through. So the Bears did nothing there. Terrible. The defense took a step back last year. They replaced secondary. They got rid of Ha Clinton-Dix and Princeton Nakamura. What did they replace him with? Tashawn Gibson, who's been a journeyman in the NFL. He's not an improvement over Dix. He's maybe the same or worse. And Artie Burns, a speedster from the Steelers, who got booted out of there because he couldn't frickin' Artie Burns toast is what the guy's name should be. He's replacing Mukamara. Are you frickin' hell? But we did get a quarterback in the 3rd round who's had a shoulder injury. Really? They didn't upgrade their secondary either. So the Bears did not address their needs. Quarterbacks were available. Cam Newton was out there. Andy Dalton was out there. There were quarterbacks in the draft. There were quarterbacks everywhere. We go after a guy who has not started a full season in the NFL ever. Nick frickin' Foles. Yeah, he got lucky and got hot and beat some guy named Tom Brady in the Super Bowl or something like that. Good for him. That's all you have to hang your head on. It does nothing for me. It really doesn't. He doesn't excite me. To be honest, Trubisky I think is a better athlete. Although Trubisky can't frickin' see an open receiver if he was standing 10 feet away from him. So Trubisky can't read a defense. He just waits too long. He looks at his first read, second read, third read. Next thing you know, he's sacked. 1, because he can't read. 2, because we have no offensive line. So I have no confidence in the Bears. This is Ryan Pace's last year. I do like what Jay said. Allen Robinson is the man to have on your fantasy team. Allen Robinson is a stud, and he's going to get most of the targets. I don't care who it comes from, Trubisky or Foles. He will be a top 12. I'm going to go top 12 receiver in fantasy world for Mr. Robinson. Running backs, stay away. I don't want Cohen. I don't want Montgomery. I'm not drafting either one of them. And then Jimmy fucking Graham. That's the best you can do at tight end. We have like 12 damn tight ends. Again, Jimmy Graham is the guy we get. He was good 10 years ago. Come on. Now Cole Kmet out of Notre Dame. Okay, we'll see. You know, maybe Cole Kmet will be all right. I don't know. But Bears are going in the wrong direction. Matt Nagy, Ryan Pace, this is your final year. I am generous giving the Bears a 5-11 record for 2020.
Wow. Brother, you preached it. I love it. I might not agree with you. But you know what? I do give the Bears a little bit more credit than that. And I think personally, if they, on the coaching side of things, get their head out of their ass, I do like David Montgomery. I think if they utilize him, last year they didn't utilize him. And when they did, he had a good game. And what they do afterwards, they didn't do shit because they wouldn't play him. I do like David Montgomery. I think he can be good. I think Nick Foles is a solid quarterback. I love what you said. I think it was great. We definitely are different on this team. I have more high hopes, I think. And I do believe in Nick Foles. I really do. I do. You know what? Philadelphia didn't have a great defense either that year. But you know what? They rode the shirt tails of freaking Nick Foles. And he's got an energy. He's got something different. And Mitch Trubisky, yeah, better athlete. Why? Because he's younger? No. That guy can't, like he said, he can't read a fucking defense to save his ass. No, he is not smart. He is not an athlete. He's got younger legs. That's all he's got. He's got a younger arm. Don't care. I love it. Man, that was absolutely fantastic.
That was fantastic. You know what?
I like disagreeing with
that's
you.
our the disagreements are fantastic. That's our previews on the AFC and NFC North.
You dig?
You dig. And next week we are going to the East.
Thank you.
Who's in the East?
I know who's not in the East. Tom fucking Brady!
You know, so anyways, hey, you know what? It's been a while. We are glad that you all came back to join us. Thank you for watching.
We're going to have a good show for you guys next week as well. That is next week, Thursday, 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern. Hell yeah. Great feedback, brother.
Hell yeah, great
Big old
feedback.
cheers.
Drop that.
MonkeyKnifeFight.com, baby.
Monkey Night Fight!
Yeah, buddy!
Tailgaters, get your $50 right now.
Woo!